Well, hello friends. Welcome back to my channel, Scrapbook Your Legacy. I am so glad that you are joining me and watching. Today I have for you another trip album that includes some tips for trip albums. And this album here was called the Mandala album. Anyway, it was a special that Creative Memories had back a couple years ago. So it is no longer available, but I used it for this particular trip. This is a trip I took with a friend of mine down to Amelia Island. And we took this trip right after Hurricane Ian came through. And thankfully, I know a lot of people were affected by that, but Amelia Island was spared. So we are grateful for that. And it allowed us to still take our trip. So here we go. So this is our, there's the light. And hopefully everything goes well. Hopefully my little puppy doesn't start barking. But this is the title page. And so one of the tips for albums for trips is to use a card that represents where you are. So we were at Amelia Island, and one of the jokes that my friend and I had on this trip was the alligators. So Amelia Island, well, all of the coastal area is known for alligators, but they are also known for their dragonflies. So the dragonfly is represented on the card, and boy, that light is not making it easy. And so is the alligator. So we have some funny stories from this trip with alligators. We didn't meet any, but I think we're probably more fortunate that we didn't. But anyway, so this is our title page. The collections used in this, I can't really remember because they are a couple years old, but we used a combination of a spring collection, a summer collection. We also used a collection that Creative Memories came out with. It was a smaller one to support Ukraine. So those were blue and yellow papers representing the colors in their flag. We also used a Florida mini collection. All right, so this is the title page. Another tip for a trip album is taking a picture of your Google map that shows your trip. So we did that. One thing I do is I do print at home. I have an Epson PM400 printer where I can print 4x6, 5x7, and 3x4s. So I can do collages on a 4x6. So if you have the ability to print at home, consider trying a collage to fit more pictures into your album. To do the collage, I use Canva. That is a wonderful website for doing that. We like to take pictures of food just to document the restaurants that we go to. Another tip would be using a sticker. You find these in many places that you travel to, and we did not, I don't think we took the sticky off, maybe we did, but anyway, using a sticker from the place that you've been to. Here is a flip flap or a peekaboo pocket, and that's a great way to fit more pictures. Also, layering them. So I have this one, and then I have a smaller one, and I can fit them one under the other. Here is a postcard. So this is another tip. Using postcards that you can't get pictures of. Like this one is a watercolor painting printed in a postcard form. And we went to see the Pippi Longstocking house. Did not know that that was there, but that was one of the things that we did. And so this is a picture of the Pippi Longstocking house. Even though I have a photo of it, this is really beautiful. So that's another tip, is using unique postcards and postcards of the photos that you can't get. I also have a cutting machine, so you will see that with my titles. I use a Silhouette, so I do like to cut my titles quite often. And then more peekaboo pockets here to fit more photos. Here's another one. This is a 4x6. This one is a 3x4. It might be, yeah, I think that's 3x4. Another watercolor photo of a hotel, a guest house that we went to for brunch. Now we've got more flip flaps here. Many times I'll hide my journaling under a flip flap or a peekaboo pocket. So there you go. So lots of those. And here we went on a walk on a greenway, And the funny story is here, there were no signs when you entered the Greenway, the hiking trail, to warn you of alligators. And it wasn't until we got to the middle and were surrounded by canals that there was a sign that told you to beware of alligators. So we were stuck in the middle and freaking out, like, where do we go? How do we get out of here without seeing an alligator? And the next day we were shopping downtown, and a gentleman in one of the stores showed us a picture of an alligator he had seen on this exact thing, and the alligator was huge. So this layout right here, we were trying a new technique, and I think a trip album is a wonderful time to experiment and try different techniques. So we were trying a tearing technique, and this is based off of a layout that Julie Carrier did over at CDT Creatives, the creative design team. And she used a water photo and tore the papers. Ours is not exact, but that was the inspiration for this. So we were trying to use colors in the sunsets and create that look. Again, cut title with layering to it. Another cut title. Here's another water color postcard of the fort, and another peekaboo pocket. Here's a 6x12 peekaboo pocket. You can use them going top to bottom or side to side. It's a great way to layer a lot more photos in. And then I have a small one underneath, and I know I am missing things there. I think I need to put another picture here. I still need to do that. And I think there's supposed to be another one here. So there we go. Some more flip flaps. And again, cutting your borders. So you don't always have to use just a 12-inch border. You can cut them. And then layering your borders. Here we layered 2 different ones to create a deeper border. Another watercolor postcard. Another tip would be to take pictures of signs in the area where you're touring that tells more of the story of where you visited. And then again, in the last video of scrapbook that I showed you, I talked about layering things onto your photos and not being afraid to do that. Just experiment and try new things. This collection is not a Creative Memories collection. This is a Close to My Heart collection that we had purchased before they went out of business. So I do like to spread the love a little bit, especially if I really like something that I see. So that's what we did here. And there's some stamping that we did. We used die cuts as well as punches from Creative Memories. The die cuts are not Creative Memories, but the punches are. This is a Creative Memories punch. This circle is a die, and a lot of the leaves. The leaves are a combination of dies that we have and punches from Creative Memories, just to embellish the page more. So that's what we did. This tearing technique, my friend picked up. It's either from the creative design team or is from Paper Therapy with Amy. But anyway, we thought we would try that on here, and then we added, some of our own things with this punch from Creative Memories. Lots of flip flaps in here. We went to get a cookie to eat on the beach later. This photo does not do these cookies justice. They are the size of your head. So they were huge, and we shared one, and then we brought some home. But anyway, that was fun. Some more stamping on the page, and then tearing papers, so that here we tore it so you could see the white. And this is using some old, I think this is from the Ukrainian collection. This is Creative Memories, one of their beach collections. Photorealistic, so we used just a little bit of it to represent the shells that we had been gathering. And then beautiful sunset. And then the end page. Don't ignore the end of your album. Here we used another card that represented some of the things that Amelia Island is known for. So we just took a card and added it to the back, cut a circle, and just used up some scraps to represent some of the things that we had done there, like the shells. We did a lot of shelling. So this paper with the shells, that is from a Creative Memories summer collection. That's what we use, and then part of their Florida collection. So, and then layering a border maker cartridge under that. Like it doesn't go 12 inches. We just layered it right under this shelf that we created for the card, and then some of the stickers, and that's the end. And then these, I like these top loading pages, one, because I can move things around easily, but they're also great if you leave the paper that comes with it. These are a great place to put all of your memorabilia, maps, other postcards, pamphlets from your trip. So that's what I did here. But anyway, I wanted to get a video out to you this week. I know it's a busy week because it's the 4th of July, and I thought being the 4th of July was a great time to do a beach album. So I wanted to show that to you with some tips. So again, just to go over the tips that I shared with you for this, using a card that reflects the area, taking pictures of the route that you've driven. So here's the card, the route, peekaboo pockets. Those are a great way to add more pictures. Using unique postcards like this one here, the Pippi Longstocking house. Using unique postcards or postcards of photos that you just can't get really well. And then multiple photos, doing a collage on a 4x6 or 5x7, and then taking pictures of info signs like I showed you throughout this. So those are just some more tips for doing a travel album, and of course you can incorporate them into your own album. I will have another video for you next week. I will be unboxing, hopefully the product gets here. It's not a new collection, but it is a collection that Creative Memories has released for you to do an album in, a year-long album. It's their Noteworthy collection. So if you haven't seen that, I will be unboxing that next week and sharing that with you. And I will also share some layouts that I have done using that collection. I am challenging myself to do 2025 with the Noteworthy collection. I don't normally stick with one collection like that, but that is that is what I'm trying to do. And now my puppy is acting up. Thank you for watching. You can find me also over at Facebook on Scrapbook Your Legacy with Carrie, and you can also find my little shop over at creativememories.com/user/Carrie Wallace. So thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day and have a wonderful 4th of July, however you are spending it. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.